Welcome to our third grade presentation from Sea to Shining Sea. During the program, using narration, songs, and quotes, we will tell you some of the main events in the United States history and what was happening in our community to Temecula at the same time. To begin our program, we will sing America the Beautiful.
Scientists believe that Native Americans from North and South America came from Asia. Long ago, there was a way to get to the Americas on a land bridge over what is now called the Bering Strait. They believed the natives crossed the land bridge in search of food. Groups of people settled in different places such as valleys, plains, deserts, and each group had someone to meet the needs for food, shelter, and clothing in different ways. This ability to choose one environment is called adaptation. The Native Americans who settled in Temecula were hunters and gatherers. They collected acorns and made a mush called wheelish. Hunting made up only a small part of their diet. They wore little or no clothes. When they did wear clothes, it was for protection from the cold. The Native Americans who lived in this area had three types of shelters they built from the natural resources found here. The shelters were the Kish, the Ramada, and the Pit House. They were religious people who only believed in one God. They believed he would reward them if they were good and punish them if they were bad. If he was really bad, he might send earthquakes or years of no rain. Many people wonder how Temecula got its name. One legend is that an Indian chief, Nahagish, stood on a hill looking down at our valley. He named it Temecula, which means sun shining through the window. In 1620, the Pilgrims arrived from England. They came to the New World because they wanted religious freedom. Freedom of worship no longer wanted to be a part of England. They didn't like the king's laws or manner of enforcing them. They fought back when the king sent soldiers trying to make them obey. This was the beginning of our Revolutionary War. Here are the boys from the past explaining some of the feelings of the time.
I am Thomas Jefferson. I wrote these famous words in the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they were endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
America won its independence from England. The new country continued to grow. People with many different beliefs and backgrounds came to America.
Its bank in the valley was a part of Mexico during this time. Mexico was under the Spanish rule. In 1797, Juan Norberto de Santiago came to this valley looking for a site on which to build a mission outpost for San Juan Capistrano. He was the first European to see this valley. He did not build a mission here.
Later part of Erie from San Luis Rey mission with the Native Americans. The Native Americans became mission Indians, and their way of life was changed forever. Things changed again for the Native Americans in time. Just as the colonists wanted to be rid of the English world, the Mexicans wanted to be rid of the Spanish world. In 1821, Mexico won her independence.
Pio Pico, the last Mexican governor of California, claimed ownership. He and several divided up, sold, or gave away the mission lands to the individual Mexicans. They did this so the Mexicans could hold on to the land if the United States of America went to war over the land and Mexico lost. The Native Americans who had become mission Indians no longer had a place to live.
Daniel Boone began the Wilderness Road, which allowed settlers to cross the Appalachian Mountains and settle in Kentucky.
Always searching for more land or new experiences. Americans built immigrant trails along which people moved from one area to another. The Southern Immigrant Trail was a route that passed through Jamaica and then went north through Los Angeles to San Francisco.
Oh, don't you remember sweet Betsy from Pike? She crossed the wide prairies with her husband Ike, with 2 young goat oxen and a yellow dog, a tall Shanghai rooster and 1 spotted hawk. Too-ra-lee, 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 sing too-ra-lee, 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 yay. One evening quite early they camped on the Platte. 'Twas nearby the road on a green shady flat. Poor Betsy, quite tired, lay down for repose, and Ike sat and gazed at his Pike County roads. Too-ra-lee, 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 sing too-ra-lee, 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 yay. They soon reached the desert where Betsy gave out, and down on the sand she lay rolling about, while Ike in great tears looked on in surprise. Said Betsy, get up, you'll get sand in your eyes. Too-ra-lee, 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 sing too-ra-lee, 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 yay. The rooster ran up and the oxen all died. The last piece of bacon that morning was fried. Poor Ike got discouraged and Betsy got mad. The dog wagged his tail and looked awfully sad. Too-ra-lee, 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 sing too-ra-lee, 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 yay. The alkali desert was burning and hot, and Ike he decided to leave on the spot. My dear old Pike County, I'll go back to you. Said Betsy, you'll go by yourself if you do. Too-ra-lee, 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 sing too-ra-lee, 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 yay. They swam the wide rivers, they crossed the tall peaks. They camped down the prairies for weeks and for weeks.
Baseball has been providing us with fun and excitement for more than 100 years. The game has gone through many changes in rules and equipment during those years.
The first game of baseball, as we know it today, was played in Hoboken, New Jersey in 1846. The New York Nine beat the New York Knickerbockers 23-1.
In 1848, gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill, Northern California. As you might expect, many people began coming to California in search of their fortune. They were called 49ers.
Eureka! There's gold in them hills.
The very next year, California became the 31st state and Temecula became part of Riverside County.
The Butterfield Overland Stagecoach coming west from St. Louis, Missouri stopped in Temecula. It only operated for a few years because the great battles of the Civil War interfered with the route.
One of the reasons the Civil War was fought was because most southern states wanted to own slaves, and most northern states wanted to outlaw slavery. With the help of many brave people like Harriet Tubman, slaves from the south ran away to the north where they knew they could be free. Here's a few words from Harriet Tubman.
I am Harriet Tubman. I was born a slave. When I was 29 years old, I ran away to Philadelphia because Pennsylvania was a free state. Over the next 10 years, I helped more than 300 slaves escape to freedom, including my own family.
These runaway slaves traveled on the Underground Railroad, which was really not a railroad at all, but a network of safe houses and hiding places for escaping slaves.
The Northern Star was our guide on a dangerous trip. The constellation, the Little Dipper, which we call the Drinking Gourd, pointed to the North Star, was our guide to freedom.
The Civil War between the Northern and Southern states, it lasted 4 years. The North one and all the states became free slaves. During the war, Abraham Lincoln was president. Here are some of his words. I am Abraham Lincoln. In giving freedom to the slaves, we assure freedom to the free. This nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. The Civil War was especially sad because it divided families and neighbors. Fathers fought sons, brothers fought brothers. Can you imagine the woman in the tomb and watching the road to see if their father, son, or brother would ever come home again? 600,000 men died in the Civil War.
quiet start in Temecula. The town grew a little though. Louis Wolf opened a store by what is now Mexico Station on Margarita Road. He also became Toastmaster. The Temecula School District was formed when the ever-busy Louis Wolf was the district's first clerk. A very sad thing happened to the Temecula Native Americans. Because of the legal problem, they were made to leave their land and were taken south. And were taken to the south of the Temecula River.
This land later became the Pechanga Indian Reservation. As an old timer said, they just dumped them there, they just dumped them.
The period following the Civil War, called Reconstruction, was a very painful time. For the people. They were forced to rejoin the Union of the United States of America.
It was a very painful time for the Native Americans as well. A lot of them were being forced off their land and reservations just as they were to. In 1863, work was started on a railroad, which would stretch from Nebraska to California. The transcontinental railroad workforces met in Utah. A golden spike joined two rails. By 1882, 11,500 miles of track was built in the USA.
Temecula also had a share of railroad tracks. Using large Chinese crews, the California Southern Railroad completed its line from National City to Temecula through the treacherous granite walls of Temecula. With the arrival of the railroad, the town of Temecula became established in Old Town. One of the first buildings, Wealthy Hotel, was built to house those who worked for the railroad. It burned down in 1891, but was rebuilt to look the way you see today.
The post office moved from the old Wolf store to Machado store on Main Street. After winning some land in a Temecula land raffle, Philip Pullman founded the Temecula Merchant Club.
1882 to 1892 was a growth period in Temecula. In fact, because of improved transportation, many people were moving west and starting communities like Temecula.
The U.S. government created the Homestead Act. If a person could prove that they could build a house and survive, then they were given 160 acres for free.